Hey, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Unpopular Review, the Impact Review Show. Happening on a Thursday after 10 p.m. I'm one of your hosts, the great Grand Pooba, joined with the returning Dan the Man, and we got the executive one, the executive of all executives, the executive consultant, who is, we might have to call him the executive trained because he's here running on fumes. Fumes or fuse is one of the words to begin with that. But either way, gentlemen, how are you guys tonight?
We're doing great. We just watched an amazing episode of Impact Wrestling. We're alive. We're doing well. And we are one step closer to the best day of the week, Friday.
Friday is a lovely day. You know, for me, it used to not be Friday for me just because Fridays was my Wednesday. That meant Saturday, Sunday, you know. But now that I have a normal schedule, I can sit here and go like, hey, it's the weekend.
It is.
Executive. It's the weekend. It's a great time. Executive, well, you're pretty quiet. It's unnormal when you're quiet. Please take the floor. How are you?
You know what's not normal or abnormal in this case is unnormal. That's not a word. I'm good.
Thanks,
I'm good, man. You know, I watched Impact with the sound off, and yeah, I'm ready to talk about it.
Well, I can't wait to do it. Why don't we jump into the opening? So the opening is Trinity. So we were still doing the top five. Shout out to you and Mike Knox. We did a top five around 7:30. It was about top five Impact wrestlers. And we're still on. Please check it out and share that, like it, and tell us what your top five is and who was wrong and who was missing and blah, 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 all that stuff. Let's have a conversation about professional wrestling.
Go Bully Ray.
And so we open up with Trinity, and she's tag teaming with Danny Luna from Subculture, and they go against the Coven.
Yes.
And I thought this match was decent. I mean, I thought it was a good opener. You know, the baby faces at first, it looked like they had the upper hand. Then the heels take over. You have I wanted to make sure I had the name for the Coven because I know who Taylor Wilde is, but the other one is, how do you say her name? Lion King?
Is it Keelan King?
Keelan King. Okay, there we go. I put it. Oh, here. I was in such a dire rush. That was terrible. But how do you say the name one more time?
Keelan King.
Keelan King. There we go. I remember that. Keelan King. And they take the numbers. They eventually overwhelm Danny. Danny gets the hot tag to Trinity. Trinity, she takes out the Hills, and she gets the pin on Taylor Wilde. So the Coven going through this losing phase right now. You got to keep Trinity hot. It makes sense. She just won the Impact Women's Championship. Right. So I feel like this match was just to put some more steam on Trinity to show that she's on cloud nine after that victory at Slammiversary was going on, Jeffrey. And I feel like this match was once again just to get her continue her on cloud nine momentum, because then Deonna Purrazzo comes out, and when she comes out, she just simply says, "Hey, I just want my rematch at Emergence. Thank you." And she wants to get her rematch for the Knockouts Championship. Gentlemen, what did you think about this segment? We'll start with you, Dan the Man.
Well, the match itself was decent. It was a filler. I think it really was much more there to showcase Trinity and get the baby faces over, coming off a really big win. Probably arguably the biggest win of Trinity's career at this point.
You mean of Impact Wrestling?
I'm sorry?
You mean of Impact Wrestling?
I mean, I'm talking in total. That could have been her biggest win, because I think that is, I'll tell you this, I think that is the best pro wrestler that Trinity has ever beaten was Deonna Purrazzo.
How long?
Wow.
I'm sorry?
Wow.
How long?
How long?
Have you been smoking crack? There's no way you're going to sit here
You
and
walk
tell
right
me.
into that.
There's no way you're going to sit here and tell me that is the biggest win of Naomi's career.
I think that was.
She is a two-time world champion, one of which she won in Orlando, Florida, her home city, at WrestleMania. Come on, broski.
But what I'm telling you is who she beat at WrestleMania is not better than Deonna Purrazzo.
Alexa Bliss
is not better than Deonna Purrazzo.
That's debatable. I don't know. I gotta challenge you on that one, man. I gotta challenge you.
I'm telling you
Ooh.
This was her biggest win of her career.
How
Because-
the
and
hell,
I'm gonna listen. Listen, I'm going to explain why.
Go ahead.
Because Trinity went off on her own and bet on herself. She did something a lot of pro wrestlers dream of doing and don't do. She said, I made it already. I'm bigger than this, and I'm going to go off and do this on my own. And she's doing it. The same exact thing that her friend, Mercedes Monet, Sasha Bernardo is doing right now.
Okay, so hey, I'm gonna pull the curtain back, right? In pre-production, Dan the man was talking about, hey, he was bragging. He's like, I'm going to a 90s party. You're going to sit home and be bored. I'm going to a 90s party. And this is the shirt I'm going to wear, right? I didn't know what he was talking about, but he said, this is the shirt I'm going to wear, right? Don't crack. And I'm glad that he showed this shirt because Lord knows he needs to stop smoking it. If you really think that Trinity's biggest win of her career was beating Deonna Purrazzo,
I think that was the best win of her career.
Stuff,
I think that was the best win of her career.
Smoking the good stuff. That's fine. We all got our opinion.
I think she had one of her best moments was at WrestleMania. That was one of her feel good best moment in front of 70,000 people. But I think her biggest match was at Slammiversary against Deonna Purrazzo.
Okay.
Why don't you take the floor, AC?
He wants to continue to be wrong, and that's fine. I mean, I can't fault the man. Sometimes people go outside and they say, "Hey, the world was flat." Look,
oh jeez.
This segment is for one reason only. Their money maker is Naomi. That's their money maker. That's who puts butts in the seats. They needed her to be out there. They needed her to go out there and put those butts in the seats and make those butts in those seats very slap happy. And that's what she did while continuing the feud with a person who she apparently had the biggest match of her career because Deonna Purrazzo is bigger than Alexa Bliss, which I challenge you all to tell me that's accurate.
I'm not saying. Okay, this is what I'm saying. As far as Alexa Bliss goes,
your sources.
Alexa Bliss had a great little run. But she is nowhere near the actual professional wrestler that Deonna Purrazzo is.
You're talking about inside the ring, inside the square circle, between those ropes. Deonna Purrazzo is bigger,
a better professional
wrestler than Alexa Bliss.
Absolutely.
That is debatable. I'm going to say that you might be correct in that. Okay, I'm not saying you're wrong on that one. You're smoking crack about biggest match of her career. I'm still thinking that's a smoking crack moment, but I'm not going to say that. Okay, but this segment was a little fun segment. I think Jeff said it best. Shout out to Jeffrey. He said pretty fun match between both teams. I think I agree with you on that. And why? Because Naomi brings that glow.
You know what? Someone also pointed out that I didn't realize that last week she wasn't even on Impact. So someone tweeted and said, this is their way of making up for last week not having her on. And I agree with that part where you said that's their moneymaker. She's the big deal. She's the big.
You had to build up for her to be on. Remember the way they tape everything all in one night, 2 nights.
I forget about that.
Yeah, so that's the reason why she wasn't on last week and then again this week. They had to separate. She just won the title. Let us do a little bit and have her come in. Yeah. So I understand why they didn't have that. She had to have the week off to celebrate the biggest match of her career.
Mm-hmm. So it sets up for this match, and it's going to happen August 27th. There's a segment with Bully Ray, Moose, Kurt Hawkins, and Approach Leo Rush. Once again, have the team. Oh, oops!
It's Brian Myers.
All right, I forgot. My bad, bro. Calm down. We're gonna start.
I want to make sure you say the right name. It's Brian Myers.
All right, I'm gonna do that. Can you give me a chance?
All right, go ahead.
Thank you. I'm the dude with the Ray Charles 500 wants to yell at me. Okay, Brian Myers, and you have they approach Leo Rush, and when they approach Leo Rush, there was this whole segment last week at the end of the show where Bully, Moose, and Brian Myers. Did I do good, sir?
Well, no, but you said Bully. I'm sorry, not Bully. Moose and Bubba Ray, right?
I said Bully Ray.
No, it's Bubba Ray.
It's Bully Ray.
It is Bully Ray.
It is Bully Ray, dude.
It's Bubba Ray.
It's
Bubba Ray Dudley.
No. You're not hosting. I'm gonna need you to be the third person. All right, Luigi. So boom. They all approach Lio Rush. And as they approach him, he said, "You're either with us or you're against us," right? So that's Leo sits there. Leo's to sit there, and he has to think about where his decision is going to be at. Then we get this funny match. Okay, all right, boom. All right, so we get this next match. It's supposed to be a comedy match. This is none but a comedy match. Johnny Swinger against Zicky Dice. And what the hell is all that? Like, why you gotta zoom in on me? You can zoom in.
No, somebody was talking specifically to you, so I want to make sure you saw it.
I know. Respect Jeffrey. I catch him on Tuesdays. That's my guy. He's part of the Jap Pack community, baby. Hey, what are you talking about?
I'm glad you're talking about somebody entertaining because that guy is hilarious to me. That guy is the future.
Who?
He just mentioned him.
I want you to say it.
Why?
Say it.
Swinger.
Swinger is the future?
Swinger is great, man. I turn on the TV to see Johnny Swinger.
Whoa. Time out. Hold the phone. Stop the press right now. I know you did not just go on a massive rant trying to put me out there like that, talking smoking crack. And you're over here telling me I'm smoking crack when you come out and say some ridiculousness that Johnny Swinger, that old 50-year-old wrestling fool over here that is essentially the equivalent to Impact Wrestling's main event jobber card. Okay, you are telling me that Johnny Swinger is the future of Impact Wrestling?
All I know is that I could just throw out here that we usually have clips and stuff like that for like the episode. And as I'm taking notes here, all I know is there's a lot of smoking crack references here. And I don't know anything about this stuff.
Bad guy Jack. Let me ask you a question. You're the great Grand Poobah, right? That's what you claim. What do you like Johnny Swinger?
I don't even know a lot about him, to be honest with you.
But do you find him entertaining what you've seen?
He reminded me of someone who should have been in the 80s because he would have fit perfectly in that time frame.
Absolutely.
That's the gimmick.
It's fine. Listen, if I can just continue talking about this match before you mention someone else smoking crack, right? This match was a comedy match. It was a comedy match. It's fine. I chuckled a little bit in it.
It was fun.
Yeah, it was a fun match. I mean, some people don't like comedy in wrestling, and that's fine.
That was great.
But I thought this was. I was entertained. I laughed.
You want to talk about comedy and wrestling? We have a match coming up with Kushida. But look, all I'm saying is Johnny Swinger and his catch can wrestling is very entertaining. That's all I'm saying.
No, and I can see that. I mean, I don't think he's for everybody. I think he's a quiet taste. Like same thing with Orange Cassidy, because I think Orange Cassidy, I'm entertained by Orange Cassidy, but not everyone likes it.
The third best champion in wrestling right now's name is Orange Cassidy.
Yeah, but Jon Moxley is probably about to take his title.
I see that happening. But you know what? But you know, not for nothing. I'm not meant to say AEW review show. Sorry, you guys didn't get one yesterday. But Jon Moxley. I don't know at this point because Orange Cassidy just beats everybody. So as much as I want to say that, maybe he beats Jon Moxley, but I kind of see Jon Moxley taking the title off him. But this match was funny. Thank you, Miss Frizzle. So we get this match. I did like the time the callback where Swinger he does the finger poke of doom to Ziggy. Ziggy falls. And they're like, oh, no, not the finger poke of doom. And, that was probably the worst thing in professional wrestling, whatever. But I laughed a little bit because I was like, wow, they really did that. Ziggy kicks out. So I guess the whole purpose of this match is the loser has to leave. And Ziggy kicks out the finger poke of doom. He said, I don't want to leave. And then they have an actual match. It's still a little silly. They do silly things. To the point where Johnny Swinger just says, you know what? I don't want to do this. He rolls out the ring. Ziggy doesn't like this because he don't want to win this way. He rolls. He tries to tell Johnny Swinger to come back in the ring. Johnny's like, "No, it's your time. It's your time." They both seem like they're very old, so I don't know what's going on. Maybe that's the joke. So then he says it's your time. So he gets into this cart that reminds me of what wrestlers used to get in, like that thing Andre the Giant got in at WrestleMania 3, and
That's
it just
That's
right. Right. Okay. I get it. Thank you, Chris. I have eyes. I don't need. I can see this. I can see this. Thank you. And he gets in the car and he rolls him. You know, Dice is doing the pose, and as Dice was doing the pose, Johnny pushed him, and then he pushed him back in the ring, and then he put his feet on the ropes. 1, 2, 3. And that was the match. It was really just comedy, gentlemen. We'll start with you, executive consultant, because you're chatty box. What did you think about this match?
Johnny Swinger was in the match. So first of all, this is match of the night, and the reason how come it's match of the night is because Johnny Swinger was in the match, man. The man's freaking entertaining from his entrance to his ring skills. Everything about him I find entertaining. Johnny Swinger, if you won a championship, will be just a shade below Orange Cassidy of being one of the best champions in wrestling.
It was a fun match. It was great to watch.
Even
I did like it. I thought that was one of the better moments of the night. I thought the promo that actually was before that with Dirty Dango and Johnny Bravo was absolutely lights out. It was a perfect little segue into a little comedy spot that just happened to be in that little time frame. And I think there's a lot of things that really get overlooked in Impact Wrestling, and I think a nice little change for Johnny Bravo was nice. I think Dirty Dango seeing a different side of him now, and this heel side where he's feuding with Santino, and they're getting a little personal, bringing up his daughter, and I think they really got a good little thing going here, a good couple feuds, and it's one thing that I think Impact does really well is they don't just focus on the main event scene, and they have a good mid-card, storyline, and they also have a lower card storyline as well. And I think that really is important for wrestlings to have multiple storylines going on at once instead of just throwing matches together just because.
That's fair.
I guess apparently Zicky Dice at this point, his contract is up, and he is now going to be going on to something completely different. So Zicky Dice is not Johnny Swinger's age. He actually debuted in 2015, and he trained with Seth Rollins.
Oh, then I take that back. I'm glad that you pointed that out. Whoops. That's a whoopsie on my end. But he was in NWA, right? Zicky Dice. I've heard the name before.
He was.
He was. Okay. Well, there you go. There's a lot of mouse clicking here. We have Janelle Saw. She goes against Masha. Jeez.
Slamovich.
Slamovich. No, I'm sorry. I just looked up and I just saw Johnny. Not Johnny, but we were just talking about it. Johnny Swinger. Slamovich. It took me a while because as I say her name, I always say Slamovich. I almost sound close to like I'm saying Slammerbitch, but that's not a name. That would be a cool wrestling name. Slammerbitch. I think that would be so cool. Her name is cool too. I mean, I wouldn't mess with her. I mean, I saw her one time out here in New York, and I realized that she could throw me through a glass wall.
Definitely.
Oh my goodness. Well, thank you for seeing that you are very concerned in my well-being. Thank you, sir. This is the last time you're going to be doing 3 shows in a row because this version of you. I mean, oh man, this guy right here.
He's on it right now.
Oh yeah, no, he's really on it. I mean, you think he's tired, but no, he's not. I didn't know if he could make it through, but he's making it through. Shout out to the executive consultant. 3 shows in one day. Oh my goodness. I mean, this guy's I thought I was the Iron Man of UPR. This guy, you might have to call you Chris Stokes. ST, by the way. That was great. Thank you. But we have this match with the knockouts. And I mean it's your basic paint by number match. I mean, I didn't like Masha getting pinned. I wasn't really a fan of that because they just won the championship. So I wasn't really a fan of your champ being pinned. so soon. But I got what the story was is that so you can build some heat with the Hills so that when they go for the championship. Oh my God, I love this guy, JL. I know Breaker was on the show, but is it worth watching? Well, Braun Breaker's not on the show, so I don't know if you're gonna find this show worth it. But I do say stay tuned because we are talking wrestling. If you mention Braun Breaker, I will have a response from Braun Breaker. So JL, please stay in the chat. Thank you for tuning in. He's on the Tuesday night show with me, and he's great because he would be mad if Braun Breaker's not on the show. Oh, I was angry. Or he'll say, oh, Braun lost, he got buried. This guy's a Braun Breaker guy for real. Like, this guy's great. I think he says this right now in his Braun Breaker shirt. JL, do you have a Braun Breaker shirt if you're still there? I just need to know that. But yeah, this match was really and Jeffrey knows because Breaker. Oh my God, Sawyer is here. Check her out. She's here. That was the original Breaker fan. But yeah, I thought this match. It just put some steam on the Hills. Wasn't a fan of the champion pin, especially since they just won it.
Did you guys know that Giselle Shaw has been in a relationship with Scott D'Amore for almost the past 5 years?
No, I didn't know that. I had no idea.
I just learned that a couple weeks ago.
Your sources told you that, and your sources know well. I did not know that. Okay. Well, Giselle Shaw is one of my favorite women wrestlers in the world today. I just find her very entertaining, and she should be women's champion.
She might eventually win it. Well, I mean, not now. I don't see right now because, Trinity got it. I see JL. I'm sorry, I wanted to get to JL. He says, I'm going to SmackDown on the 11th to buy one. So he's going to buy a Braun Breaker. He does not have a Braun Breaker shirt, but he's going to get one. Shout out to JL.
SmackDown on the 11th? Where's it at?
Yeah, where's that going to be?
I don't know. JL, where's that going to be at? I know it's not going to be out here in New York. I know that for a fact. Is that a golf ball?
Dan owns our own paparazzi production.
Telling you.
I remember that. Wasn't that like a fact? It was Chris Sabin. Not Chris Sabin. Was it Alex Shelley and Austin Aries and all of them? I think that was a thing. Paparazzi production.
Oh, Calgary. Nothing good ever came out of Calgary.
Oh, you are disgusting. Foundation. No. He wants to be a jerk. That's how he lives. That's being a jerk is his breathing. That's what he does. He just want to get me riled up. Listen, Christopher.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, what are you talking about? You say a lot of dumb things. You just been spreading a lot of dumb. Listen, just keep it to yourself, all right? Like all this dumb that you are spreading is not cool because we're already battling stuff like national fires and COVID and all this stuff, and you want to spread dumb. Stop it.
Who's spreading national fires? Calgary? Canada?
Canada is spreading national fires. Okay.
Who
is smoking crack here tonight? Who is smoking crack?
Everybody in the city of New York because the fire on Canada. What's going on? What's wrong?
No. You know what's wrong? It's your fashion sense. You know, it honestly bothers me. I was trying to hold it in, but your fashion sense is terrible. It's outdated, and I'm going to continue the show because I'm going to be a professional because I'm the most professional Grand Poobah there is. Dan, we're talking about this match. Executive, shut up. What did you think about this match? I don't think you had an opportunity to get your thoughts in.
Well,
you think you're so funny. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Let me tell you something, executive consultant. All right, I'm gonna need you to get your shit right. All right, because we got lots to talk about right now. And you over here wearing your sunglasses at night, looking like you just came out of an '80s movie.
I'm always great.
What's going on, bro? Jeez.
What is? I don't understand. What is going on? What's wrong with y'all? Y'all upset because I said that nothing good came out of Calgary? Name me 3 good things out of Calgary. Go ahead without searching Google. Go.
Right, Hitman Hart. There we go. That's
exactly. You can't. So I proved my point.
Calgary Stampede. Come on, bro.
The Calgary Stampede.
You know what? I'm not gonna entertain you. If you want entertainment, go watch TV. I'm not gonna do that for you. I'm here to host the show, do my due diligence, and that's it.
You're not making sense. You're not making
sense. You don't make sense. I'm gonna talk about Giselle Shaw, right? Giselle Shaw. Yes, Yes.
Moving
yes.
on. Moving on from this sorry man over here.
I like JL's answer. He said people, food, and Stampede. Thank you, JL.
Name one piece of food that came from Calgary. Exactly.
Who are you? What are you, PBS? Who the fuck are you?
You know what? I'm going to tell you this. Calgary drafted Matthew Tkachuk, which Matthew Tkachuk is arguably the best player right now in the National Hockey League. Okay? So take that and put that down your pipe and smoke it.
There's a lot of smoking going on.
Anyways.
You lost track of what you were saying. This is what Canada does. They put everything on track.
Giselle Shaw.
Okay, yeah. Talk about some Giselle Shaw.
Giselle
Talk about
Shaw
somebody good.
Defeated Masa Slamovich.
And she deserved to.
It was actually a pretty entertaining match.
Never seen a match.
I understand that Giselle is starting to gain some steam now. And, you know, she's got a good little thing going with Hai Fidal and Savannah Evans. And you know, they're very entertaining right now. I think it's deserved that she's getting the attention right now, but I think Masha definitely has taken a back seat. Masha should be a more prominent figure on Impact Wrestling, and I think it is time for Masha to start getting the Deonna Purrazzo treatment here and to get thrust into that spotlight.
Wow. Okay. Well, I disagree, but that's fine. I just think Giselle Shaw is awesome, and that's all I'm gonna say.
I see the talent. I see it.
You should.
I think you should tell me. You should stop telling me what to do.
You think I agree? Should tell you what to do.
I agree.
Thank you. You know what? Executive Year services for the Impact Review Show is it's been great, but you can go home now.
This will be my last episode, so just enjoy while you can.
Enjoy while you can. Listen,
I was going to give you the respect of a 2-week notice, but I mean,
no, you don't deserve that. You know what you do? You can just walk by the executive consultant's desk. You just leave a piece of spit there, and then you just go on with your day. That's it. But I'm going to keep moving on. We had a Jake Something promo. I thought this was great. I mean, Jake Something is something. I'm not even trying to be funny. Yeah, no, he really is a beast. I like but he comes off really pro wrestling, right? So he's yelling at the cameras, and I was digging it. He said, I was born in the dirt, and the only way is up. He said, father taught him lessons, and everything is his. And he had to be something. So when I heard that, I was like, I wanted to flip a table. I was like, yeah, something. I was with this. So yes, Jake Something. I know he had that match last week, and I was impressed. But him yelling, I love when people yell. It just grabs my attention. As a quiet person, it just grabs my attention. But what did you think, Dan the Man, the executive fired you can go after? But Dan the Man, what did you think about this?
So, I mean, I think Jake Something was a nice get for Impact for him to come back. I think that he definitely has a lot to offer. He's a future world champion. And I think at this point, he is going to be built up to be the future, to be the main eventer. And he is somebody who I think bigger and better things will come within the next few years.
I can see him being a world champion. He has that look. I can see him being a champion. How old? I mean, I know he's a young guy, but how old is he? Anyone knows?
I believe he's low 30s. Let's see.
Executive, when he's looking at,
34.
What did you think? 34. Okay, still a young man.
Jake Something has something that makes y'all think he's actually entertaining. He's not. I'm not a fan. I told y'all this last week. I'll tell y'all again this week. I don't see it.
Well, you win plus.
Just wait till Jake Something ends up in WWE, and all of a sudden the executive consultant is going to be on the ground on his knees praising him.
First of all,
damn it, man, I like your humor. Good job.
Chris won't get on his knees for anything. That's one. Two, he is not your tribal chief. Okay.
So you would get on your knees for your tribal chief?
No, Chris doesn't get on his knees for anybody. But I mean, if he's going to praise somebody, it's going to be his tribal chief. Second of all, he's not Dirty Dom either. Okay.
Well, look, we have Sawyer in the comments. She said a Jake something hater in 2023. Crazy in capital letters. So you're really messing up here. Executive, you're just losing tonight, big time. You know, I wish you wouldn't take so many L's. You know, like it's just taking too many L's. It's just, I mean, damn. Like
nothing in my name has an L in it except for consultant, and it's so far that people can't see. I don't know what you're talking about. Just because y'all said something.
So how do you sit here and say? How do you sit here and say there's no L in my name, but there's an L? Because I'm like, what are you talking?
I'm going by the shoot name, sir. The shoot name.
Oh man, here you are shooting and missing. But let's carry on here.
You know what, Chris? I'm going to tell you this right now. There may not be an L in your name, but there definitely is ass in your name. All right. So let's put it that way. Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
This is what we
really. It's not.
Last name.
Last name has one A, one S. What are you talking about, sir? You don't know how to spell. Now look.
Your last name, sir,
has one A and one S.
You're just getting dominated. I'm sorry. I wish George was here because you were getting done. Look at Sawyer said you robbed the L bank. I mean, goodness. That is. I laughed. I chuckled.
Of course you did. That's what you do. You laugh at non-funny jokes to make it funny. That's why you like people who yell, so you can yell all the time. It's not funny. Now look, all I'm saying is, I was not a fan. Mm-hmm. Not a fan.
That's fair. I mean, listen, it's a quiet taste. Understood.
Yes.
We had Brian Myers. Did I get that right? Thank you. And Moose, who has a phenomenal theme, by the way. I'm thinking about downloading that and just going to barbecues and have the I forget, it's a classical theme that starts at the beginning before it goes to and it goes to Moose. I forget what it's like. It was this dude in WCW with Berlin. He had this theme. Alex, you remember Berlin, right? Oh my God, Berlin. I was talking to my co-host Sawyer, and I was sitting there saying, you watch WCW, you mention certain names like Buff Bagwell because you just don't use that in a sentence. So when you say Berlin and I'm like, oh yeah, you watch WCW like completely. Right. The original Moose thing was good too. Go ahead.
The original, it was. Moose has always been great, but I remember Berlin because he came out as Berlin.
Right.
And was
1999. The Wall.
The Wall is what he became.
Yes. Right. What was the original?
No, he was Berlin.
No. Berlin was Alex Riley. I'm sorry, Alex Wright. But he had a manager.
Right. Okay.
And remember, and he was called The Wall.
The Wall. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Just we're showing we watched WCW. That's what we did. We watched WCW.
Yeah, man. I remember all those guys, man. It was good times. It was good times.
It was a fantastic time. It was great.
It was criminal whatever happened at 3 count. I'll tell you that because they should have.
Listen, I love the second one. Coming down with 3 count.
Something we got Backstreet
Boys.
Insane
2.
Britney Spears. We watched
on MTV. Everybody 3 count. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Wow, that match was over. I'm sure Dave Meltzer gave it like 1 star. Look, I like Moose's thing. I think Moose's entrance is very good. I feel he. Here he goes again. I feel like when he comes out, he looks like the star of Impact, and that's why it's good. And he's good, and he should be that man.
He should. I mean, he was the man for a period. I don't know how long he was Impact champion because I was in and out of Impact at that time. But he did have his run. Hopefully, he can get it again. I think he's in some of the best shape of his career.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll be down for it.
But look who's the Impact Wrestling champion now. You know what I'm saying? He should be easily defeat him.
It is. It's questionable. I'm questioning the Alex Shelley decision here. Not that he's undeserving of this, but I view him as a transitional champion at this point. He's definitely held the belt longer than I thought he would. I never expected him to beat Nick Aldis, and I don't think anybody expected him to beat him.
I did. I really did. No, I really did. And I like Nick Aldis. I mean, I think he got the the look, he has the presence and all that stuff. But I wanted, like for me, I wanted Alex Shelley to have some kind of run. I didn't want him to just have the belt and then just drop it. Just personally for myself.
Well, they were kind of thrust in a position because you know
what you got hurt. Yeah,
you know, he got hurt, and then it was we need to put this belt on somebody. They threw Macklin and Shelley in the match, and I don't understand why Shelley would beat Macklin.
Well, wasn't Macklin when he went in? He went in that shit. He went in that shit.
Right. So, because who did Macklin originally face? It was
he fought Kushida because what you call it was out. Josh Alexander.
Josh Alexander, yeah.
Because Josh Alexander, I don't know when he was going to drop it, but I mean he already broke the record. He's the longest reigning Impact champ, and I think he was going to go. I don't know how long he was going to go, but it seemed like he was going to go. He was going to go a little bit longer. Talent one, no shade. Yeah. But I'm sorry. We had these two, Brian Myers and Moose going against the Time Splitters, Kushida and Alex Shelley. Some really good stuff. You get to see Time Splitter together. They do that. Some of the signature moves together. Moose and Brian try to overwhelm the baby faces, but the baby faces come through. Alex Shelley, he gets the win. I didn't see who he pinned, but I know that he got the win. And after that, the Hills came out. You know, you have Bully Ray joining Brian Myers and Moose. They jumped the baby faces, and the same guy that we were talking about, the Walking Weapon, he comes out. Excuse me, he comes out. He wants to keep Alex Shelley fresh because they're going to be having a match at some point. So he tries to protect Alex Shelley. But then Leo Rush comes through. As Leo Rush comes in, he had to make his decision from earlier. And he joins the Hills, and they jump all the baby faces. Then Chris Sabin comes out. It's just like some anime. You know, with the heart of, I don't even know, from Detroit. He comes out and help even up the odds with the baby faces. And they proceed to jump Leo Rush. So I feel like, this was a really good match. I thought this was really, really good. It was really to set up the return for Chris Sabin. So Dan the Man, what did you Brian got pinned. Thank you, Jeffrey. What did you think about this segment?
It was all right. I mean, I don't really have didn't love it.
Yeah.
Impact has a lot of great moments, and then sometimes they don't. And
sure.
And I think like any show, it was still better than any Raw match that I saw. But I will say that, Mr. Executive Consultant, because we did go to Raw, and I did not. I did not like the show. Yeah, Monday.
Oh. You wasn't a fan?
What's up?
Wasn't a fan.
I was not a fan. I don't like 3-hour shows. I'll tell you that. So
it makes it hard. No, I get it.
It really does. The show drags on, and when you don't have any matches that go on for over 2 hours, that's also a little difficult. But I will say, overall, tonight's Impact wasn't bad. I think it served its purpose. But
we got 2 more matches.
I mean, yeah. we do. But I feel this match was kind of the get up, go to the bathroom.
I did, because I had to wash my hands.
Yeah.
Wow. I want to know why you had to wash your hands, but let me explain.
I made a hamburger. That's
it's
why.
Fine. It's fine.
Okay.
It's your personal business. So I want to talk a little bit about what I said earlier about certain people, and this is the guy I want to talk about right here, Kushida.
Oh boy.
Right? So I've said this on the show before. I'm not a big Kushida fan. They're like him in any wrestling organization you ever worked in. I've never found him interesting. Right now, Bad Guy Jack will sit here and tell you that he likes him, but I remember he used to really hate him in NXT when he used to do the show on Tuesdays with Shay.
Don't do that. Don't do that, because you know what? Now you just raised my blood pressure. God darn it, Christopher Harris. You know why I didn't like him? It wasn't because he lacks talent. I thought he has talent. He's not one of my personal faves or anything, but I could acknowledge talent and realize someone who has skills. I didn't like. See, now he got me coughing. God darn it. What upset me was that he was teaming with a guy who wanted to wrestle in the ring with a jacket. That's not clever. It's not fun. That's not innovative. It's not like it's not 5 stars.
Come on, man, jacket time.
No, don't tell me that. Damon, man, your services has been great, but after the show, we will send you your respectable whatever it is that we have to give, because that's incorrect. Don't do that. Right now, I'm so irritated. You know what? The detective said he loved evil. He loved evil. He's that evil thing from Star Wars that wear the black cloak. I don't even know who that guy is. I don't know who he is.
Talking about the Emperor?
Yes, Emperor. Yeah, that's yes, him. But no, I shut up, Chris.
So I like to talk about Kushida a little bit because his name is, he's a time splitter, right? And he's actually very, very magical, because when people see him come out, they feel like he's doing a pose. But no, in actuality, he's looking at his watch to see how long are people going to go to the bathroom for his match. So when Dan was talking about it, I actually agreed with it, because that's when I took my bathroom break, is when I saw Kushida. And that's what I always take his bathroom break, because when he comes out and he does this, he's telling you telepathically, all right, go. And you're like, I got you.
I'm not the biggest Kushida fan. I still think there's a major disconnect with the fact that he is a Japanese wrestler in America, and I think Americans struggle to connect to some of these Japanese wrestlers, especially because they don't speak English. And I think promos are 100, like they're 70 to 80% of the character, and the rest is in-ring work. Kushida does not have the best in-ring work, and combined with the fact that his promo skills are non-existent, he's hard to get over with a lot of people. Now, in NXT, a lot of people did like Kushida. I was not one of them. Beyond that, I don't see it. I see he has talent, but without the promo ability, I cannot connect with Kushida.
So
I can get with you. Oh, go ahead.
Well, I also want to say that, Dan the man just tried to sit here and be as positive and put a positive spin on it as possible. And the whole time he was talking that nonsense, that bullshit he was saying, I was just looking at my watch like, when is he going to stop? Because he don't believe this shit he's saying. I don't even know why you're saying that shit. Go ahead, Graham.
Put the pipe down. Get to the next match.
I was just going to say, to add on to what Dan the man is saying, because I see what he means. Like, you talk about these Japanese superstars, like someone like Nakamura, whose English is not well, same with Asuka, but they have a certain charisma to them that does connect to the audience, where they do like him. So I do see what you mean. Because, like, once again, not a real big Kushida fan, but I do see the talent. I could see the talent. I could respect the talent. I could see what some people see. I think he was a good fit for NXT, but I do see what you first. But I do see what Jeffrey is saying in the chat, where he said maybe that's why he was like, it's because of the promos. I don't know, because I'm obviously not there, but I know promos is a big thing in WWE. So,
but he didn't have that factor, that it factor that an Io Shirai had. Io Shirai can't really cut a promo, but no matter what, she still has the charisma and she's still interesting. And you could say the same thing with Shinsuke Nakamura. Shinsuke Nakamura is still interesting, and he can back it up in the ring. Both Io and Shinsuke are better wrestlers than Kushida.
The next one we have
this is Kushida saying why we spend so much time talking about him.
We don't have a commercial, do we? That's fine.
We do.
You want to play a commercial?
I did a thing, guys. I'm sorry. laughing.
What did Jack do?
I did it. Look at this. It's
Why did you do that? And what they've been through together, that in real life they went to school together, they'd been friends for a very long time. It's always been Trick and Mello. That not even that he moved Mello out of the way for the spear out of pure instinct because that's his boy at the end of the day. Going to try to beat down Braun Breaker to the best of his abilities. And I believe he can beat Braun Breaker, but I feel like Braun Breaker's going to for the crap out of Trick Williams.
No, it's not. This is Pitbull. I'm sorry. I'm going to give it to buzzer.
Let me tell you something. I cannot wait till the day Trick Williams turns on Carmelo Hayes.
That's I wanted to take time. I mean, I like Trick. Yeah, did you hear about some guy? He didn't get it. I forget who the guy is. He didn't get what whoop that trick is, and it's I don't know. Anyway, you guys are watching Unpopular Review, the Impact Review Show. You got the Great Grand Poobah. We got Dan the Man. We got the executive of all the executive consultant. If you're liking what you're seeing, give it a like, share it on YouTube, share it on Twitter. I don't know what they do on Twitch, so just Twitch, I guess. Just I don't know, but we say thank you guys for watching. Let's continue on with the show. We have Zachary Wrench going against Speedball Mike Bailey. And I did want to sit here and say from last week, as the Rascals were leaving because they were kicked out, they were leaving. I gotta sit here and say all they kept doing was littering. They were litter all over the place. They were throwing popcorn. They were throwing all this stuff. They were throwing sodas all over the place. It was ridiculous. And I was sitting there saying, why are they littering like that? And I couldn't make a Florida joke because it wasn't in Florida. I don't even know where they're at. I think they're in Canada, right? They're still in Canada? No, I don't know.
Yeah, they're in Canada.
They're just Calgary. And he shut up. But they're littering. And Mike Bailey shows up and he confers with me. He said, hey, do you guys ever think about not being jerks? So he should really mind his business. But he wants to stand up to the guys and he wants to fight them. Mike Bailey's a really interesting fellow. Very talented. A waste of popcorn. Indeed. Thank you, Jeffrey. See, Jeffrey gets it. Wasn't that a waste? Thanks, Jeffrey. That's why he's the commander of the Jack Pack. That could have been you, but you want to spread stupid. But anyway, this match happens. Zachary against Speedball. I thought it was a good match. I thought it was, you have these two talented individuals. They're young, they're fast. There's a lot of Speedball. I mean, you really have to just look at you got to look at the screen because if you blink or whatever, you'll miss what he's doing. He's really just running around. I think I turned my head and I saw him hop on the second turnbuckle and then do the moonsault. I said, wow, I just turned my head. What happened that fast?
It was a throwback, it felt like, to the old WCW Cruiserweight division.
That's a great call. I didn't look at it that way, but that's a great call.
I think this was a sleeper. Zach Wentz is a great performer, and Mike Bailey is a good performer. I think Mike Bailey exceeds despite his lack of charisma because he is a fantastic in-ring performer. I think he really does need to work on his promos, and I think that's ultimately going to hold him back from taking the next step, unless he can get better on the microphone, cutting a promo, and getting to that next level. Because it's hard to get emotionally invested in a Mike Bailey match, despite knowing that he is excellent in the ring.
Executive.
I think Mike Bailey's okay. I do find him entertaining. I want to piggyback off of what the Great Grand Poobah said, and the Rascals were littering a lot. I like them, and they're littering, and I don't like litterers. It's like he thought they were in New York or something. We could just throw trash on the ground. I don't understand it. But the match is entertaining. So, yeah, I'll give it a thumbs up. Yeah.
You think you're so
they are two great athletes.
Clever. That's what you think. You're just so clever.
Who are you speaking to?
You.
What did I say? I said the match was okay. I gave it a
Wow.
thumbs up. That's what I said. I said I gave it a thumbs up. What's so clever about that?
Yeah, really good match. Zach's finisher. I did want to touch on this though. I mean, it's nothing spectacular, but I thought Mike Bailey sold it like hell, and I did want to point that out. It looked like he's going for a cutter. It kind of looks similar to LA Knight's finisher without the jumping part. He just grabs you and then just slam your head. And I just thought the way Mike Bailey sold it, I mean, it looked gruesome. So I just wanted to mention that piece. Really good stuff by these gentlemen. And then we get the main event. We got Eric Young against Nick Aldis. I'm not going to lie, guys. I really wasn't super invested in this match. I guess because I already knew the spoiler about Nick Aldis being done with Impact and hearing that, so I wasn't as invested. I don't think this match was terrible. But I wasn't invested. It wasn't no steam for me. So, these guys going out there, and they did the thing. Eric Young gets to win with a power driver. It's funny too. When we did the top 5, shout out to the executive consultant. We did top 5. He mentioned how when he was mentioning Bret Hart would do a power driver, but people would kick out. We were talking about what used to be finishers, but here it is. Eric Young hits a power driver and gets the win, beating Nick Aldis. And after the match, the design comes out. They beat the hell out of Eric Young. Dina and Khan. I felt foolish asking this question, but I felt like I need to ask this. Has Khan always been that big? To me, he seemed so much bigger.
He's a big dude. He's a big dude.
He's a big dude, right? I mean, he just looked gigantic.
He's a big boy.
Yeah, everyone's the same way. Yeah, and they showed that clip. Good eye, Jeffrey. They did show that clip as well. Early in the night that he beat him in 2014. He won the championship, and that was Eric Young with hair. But yeah, I thought the match was okay. I think it was really just to set up Eric Young and continue his feud with the design. Executive one, why don't you take the floor? What did you think?
I mean, it's fine. I think Nick Aldis can go. I think Eric Young is solid. I just don't think he's entertaining. Let me put it this way. He's not a main eventer to me. I'm not going to say he's not entertaining. He's not a main eventer to me. But Nick Aldis is a solid wrestler, and sad to see him go. But, I mean, his short stint there, he made an impact. No pun intended.
I see what you did there.
What was that?
His short stint, he made an impact.
Was sent to the Blue Looks. What did you think about it? Dan the man.
I'm not the biggest Eric Young fan. I know a lot of people like him. I thought his time in WWE was abysmal. Way better in Impact, more entertaining in Impact. I guess maybe more creative freedom there, but I don't care too much for him. I'm not as excited as I probably should be. Nick Aldis, I do feel a little more excitement for. Disappointing to see that his time is up. Would have liked for him to have a, more dominant run. Mm-hmm. But, he only had, a month, 2 months, maybe. So, right. Who knows what's next for him? Would not be shocked if he shows up at All In.
Wow, that's honestly a possibility. I think with Nick, I don't think he wanted to be somewhere just so he still have some exposure, because he's on TV and like you mentioned, All In, All Out? I don't know because there's 2 of these things.
Yeah,
but
All In's in the UK.
Okay, and that would be a big deal because
right,
UK, yeah, that would be his home. So it's a possibility. I'm interested to see where he goes because I just think he's such a great talent. And I think he knew, he was like, yeah, I'll go to Impact for a little bit, but I think he just knew that there's no disrespect to Impact. I like Impact. We review it. There's some fun segments and all that stuff, but he knows he's bigger than Impact.
Not really.
You don't think so?
He hasn't proven he's bigger than Impact.
That's fair.
And what I mean by that is he has not really gone and succeeded in WWE or AEW, who are the only two companies in the United States bigger than Impact. So he's done a good job in NWA, but NWA is not bigger than Impact.
Correct.
So I can't exactly agree with that statement. Now you can say he's doing a gamble on yourself like Sasha and Naomi did, but I'm not sure how effective it's going to be. But we'll see, because like I say, he has a presence, he has the look, he can do it, but he's can be able to do it for a while and he hasn't. There has to be something there that is holding him back. So we'll see how it is, but I am sad to see Magnus go. They did a little throwback where, Magnus and Eric Young, because they had a feud that's supposed to be their investment. But I think it felt kind of flat, but they had a solid match, but I expected them to. So.
Yeah, I think that's the only thing you can really expect out of this match. Like, it was going to be solid, but I can't sit here and go like, it was blown away. No, we didn't. I mean, it was a minor segment. I really went over it, but
Victor gets it.
Not really. Developmental is Ring of Honor.
No. He said all this to AEW. He gets it.
Well, I think if WWE doesn't want him, he's going to AEW.
I would go to if WWE didn't want me, and it's weird that they wouldn't want him.
Realistically speaking, I don't think they need him. They have enough talent.
They're supposed.
But you can say the same thing about AEW. They got a lot of talent as well.
Yeah,
and they're still trying to figure out how to assemble their roster.
Yeah, but Tony Khan makes stupid decisions.
No. Listen, the problem with AEW was they needed to fill out a roster. They didn't have much, so they signed a lot of these independent guys. Now, a lot of these independents,
he's still on Impact, by the way.
It's up. Yeah, Gresham's still in Impact.
Correct.
But a lot of these independents, their contracts are up. They got better talent at this point. They actually grew homegrown guys a lot quicker than I thought they would have. And they're now starting to take that next step. So you don't need some of these independent guys. So they're going to that next level at this point where, you don't need.
That's an NXT show.
You don't need your. Okay. You don't need your QT anymore. You don't need your Aaron Solo anymore. Your Nick Camarado. You don't need those guys because you have better at this point.
He puts it so well to say AEW is overcrowded.
And that's the show. What thank you guys for, unless you gentlemen have anything else, I think we could just wrap it up here. But
I don't have my sources segment. I got a lot of sources.
What's your sources?
Well, I heard.
Oh, did you hear this from the Mad Dog?
I mean, I can't reveal my sources.
Yeah, this is honestly the second time someone made a Mad Dog reference, and that is wild.
Yeah, people don't remember. I don't. My source is not trying to phone me back. Go ahead.
All right, that's the show, guys. We'll probably be here a whole nother hour just arguing with each other. This is the show. I'm the Great Grand Poobah. This is Dan the Man. This is the executive consultant. We'll be back here next Thursday. Well, I don't know. The executive consultant has been fired, but we'll be here next Thursday to bring more Impact talk. And we hope to see you guys. Real quick. Follow all these social media platforms. We have a Facebook. We have an Instagram. We have a YouTube. We have a Twitch, Twitter, TikTok. We'll
Instagram.
Yeah, absolutely. Instagram. We got all this content. We got stuff. We don't only just talk wrestling. We don't just talk about Monday nights. We don't just talk about Tuesday NXT, Dynamite, Impact, Raw, SmackDown. We have entertainment. You guys are reviewing. What's the theme? I'm sorry. What is the theme that you guys are doing on Tuesdays? I'm sorry, I slipped my mind.
Hunger Games.
Yeah, doing the Hunger Games. Funny, real quick. I was at work and the Hunger Games came on, and I immediately just fell to the ground and went to sleep. So they're reviewing the Hunger Games. Check them out on Tuesdays at 9 or 8 p.m.
It's 8:30 p.m.
8:30 p.m. So check them out. There's the entertainment crew. They also just did Hitch just like over an hour ago. It was fantastic.
He said something about falling down and so I thought he saw a Kushida match.
Nice try. You still can't get your job back on Thursdays. That's the show. Let's go home. Everyone have a great night. Jeffrey, we'll see you here next Thursday. The executive one, wave goodbye to the people. Very rude. Send us home.
Can't fire me. I quit. See you on my